You thought aim training was over! Well, think again. It's the never-ending story of improving as a player, and even more so when you want to main agents with unique aiming mechanics. With all of our fundamentals covered, we'll now be going over niche aim mechanics, starting with jet knives. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about what's so good about an ability with perfect accuracy no matter your movement, and the power to instantly kill anyone at any range with headshots. You got that? Okay, good. We can move on from that part. Jet knives in the hands of the right player are a good enough ultimate to justify picking the agent and making do with lackluster to non-existent team utility. After all, you put an op in the hands of someone like Aspas or Saya player, and you've got the recipe for a 20-kill game with a few outright round wins when Bladestorm comes online. But what if you're not a pro? How do you get your Bladestorm skills to that level? Let's walk through a clip here of Aspas using Bladestorm to talk about the various skills you need to train in order to properly utilize this ultimate. First, take notice of the verticality when using Bladestorm. Both Texture and Aspas take advantage of the updraft to gain angles and limit the enemy hitbox so that they're more likely to land headshots themselves, and the enemy is forced to shoot at their feet. They may not even know that this is one of the reasons why high ground is so good, but it's ingrained in the best pro players so deep that it happens automatically. It also makes you much harder to track, shooting up at their feet hitbox and having a totally different movement pattern. But conversely, it makes tracking your own targets very difficult as well. After all, most crosshair placement in Valorant is built around carefully prepared angles and understanding map geometry, but Jet Knives throws all that out the window. You need raw aim. Here is an exercise that will force you to track targets mentally at odd angles and move your crosshair vertically much more than just horizontally. Note what I said. Vertically. If you're slapping targets from left to right, only moving to the top and bottom of your screen when necessary, then you're not really getting maximum value out of this exercise. Work your way down over one and then back up again. This will get you used to hitting precision shots at the bottom and top of your mouse pad as you burst up and float down while in this ultimate. Next, back to our clip, notice the reaction time of that shot right there. This is classic crosshair placement and angle holding, just from an uncommon position. Though, notice Aspas moves in case they pre-fire him coming out the door, since it's not super uncommon spot for Jet with knives to be. These are also the shots you can't afford to miss with Jet knives. No one will ever flame you for missing the updraft pre-fire on an off angle for the start of round pick, but if someone walks into your angle like this and you don't kill them, your team is going to give you the mark of shame, one that you'll bear until you do something really cool. But how do we make sure to always hit this shot? Well, here's an exercise. This works best if there's a tiny gap in your crosshair, because what we're doing is placing our crosshair in the center of the strafe and using our reaction speed to click as the color in that gap changes. This is also an exercise we'll talk about when we go over how to train your operator, so fundamentals are the same. But here we're using small targets because we want to hit that juicy melon, not because we're holding a pixel angle that makes you wish you were playing an 8-bit game. Now back to our clip. Just after the previous kill, we get to see another aspect of what makes Bladestorm so good as Aspas tracks Texture, a moving target, while he himself is moving and lands all 3 body shots required to get the kill. The ability to reliably track targets in this way, especially while soaring around, is critical to securing kills with knives. If you're not able to do this, then a lot of your more ambitious Bladestorms, the ones that make the ult actually great instead of just good, will fail to net you a kill. Reactive track is a good example of the kind of mouse control you need in order to deliver these kills. There are other exercises like this one, but note the vertical adjustments of the target and the smooth motions. This isn't Quake, so we don't have to deal with tracking jittery targets. In Valorant, movement isn't quite so abusive, so mastering the smooth control necessary to properly punish in situations like this one is one of the most important skills in the toolkit of a Jet player. Lastly, we have the sick reaction flick Aspas forces himself to hit because of his lazy pre-aiming. Of course, after what he's done, I'm sure he feels he can afford to be lazy with it, but still, these are the kind of shots you'll be forced to hit as a Jet, with your own movement being so foreign to standard Valorant movement. Spider shot precision is the best for rapid and random flicks in my opinion, but there's also just the classic reaction flick. I prefer Spider Shot because it emphasizes headshots and builds good habit for other weapons, but Reaction Flick takes into account that you can just right-click them in the chest with your knives and grab the kill if need be. Either one is a powerful training tool for different situations, and of course there are other exercises that scratch this same itch. The important part isn't so much the size, but the speed and change in verticality to account for your own character's change in verticality in the game. With this information, you can get out there and own people with your JETT ult in due time. Thanks for watching, peace out, and God bless.